And even though other people were telling me I was crazy and it was impossible and I was too old and it would never happen, I just like had the frame of mind, well, I'm going to show you I can.
Yeah.
And I just kept speaking on it and speaking on it and speaking on it and putting it out in the universe and believing in my heart. We're all capable of having everything we want in this world.
Yeah.
We just have to believe that we deserve it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bougie with Mars and Neeter. What you just heard was a snippet of a conversation that me and Anita had back in July of 2020. We wanted to do the episode on putting together a budget during a pandemic, but instead of talking about that, me and Anita started talking about manifesting. This particular story is about how Anita came to New Orleans, why she came to New Orleans, the goals that she wanted to achieve, and how she was able to achieve them just by keeping a positive mindset. I definitely need a pick-me-up story, something that's a little inspiring. So let's just go ahead and segue right into the conversation that me and Anita were having last July. Here it is. Let's take a listen.
Manifesting is a real thing, by the way. Like, I know people think it's a lot of mumbo jumbo and it's like, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say, blah, blah, blah. But I'm actually living proof.
I guess describe what manifesting is.
Manifesting is speaking about what you want and believing that you're receiving it and being thankful in advance that you've already gotten it.
Right.
Like when I moved to New Orleans, I was 45 years old. And everyone in my little bitty small parish that I was from kept telling me I was too old to do the things that I wanted to move to New Orleans and do. But I truly believed that because New Orleans was a city and it was a big city and afforded more opportunity, that I was fully entitled to have what I wanted to have. When I moved here, I came here with a plan, a 5-year plan. I gave myself 5 years to finish college, get my degree, work in the film industry, become an actress, and work for the New Orleans Saints. I accomplished all that in 3 years. In 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's because I kept speaking about it. Before I even thought about moving to New Orleans, I would tell people, one day I'm going to move to New Orleans and I'm going to go to work for the Saints. One day I'm going to move to New Orleans and I'm going to be an actress. One day I'm going to move to New Orleans and I'm going to do everything that I've always wanted to do. And I just kept telling myself and telling everyone over and over and over, that's what was going to happen. And when I moved here, I noticed that the more I spoke about what I wanted, the more opportunities came my way when I wasn't even looking.
Yeah.
But I did have to put forth effort. Like for the Saints, like I started applying. I found out how to apply to work for them, and I started applying for every job offer that they sent my way.
Because if you're just thinking about it and you're not putting forth that any action, you're not going to get anywhere. Right.
And like with college, I researched the colleges here in New Orleans that would actually have transferred my credits from the college that I was going to in Alexandria, and UNO. University of New Orleans actually would allow me to transfer all of my credits and not lose them. And see, when I applied to UNO in December of 2012, and at the time I had just got married and me and my husband were living with his mom and dad, and I was like, I really want to have my own place for Christmas so that my kids can come. And do you know, when I got accepted into UNO, I applied for their housing, for their adult housing, and was actually able to get an apartment and move in and be in that apartment for Christmas, before Christmas.
Yeah.
So my kids could come and celebrate Christmas with me that year. And so it's just things like that, like everything I've always wanted deep down in my heart, that I knew that I would not. At the end of my life, I didn't want to come to the end of my life wondering what if.
Right.
What if I hadn't have done this? What if I would have tried to do that? And live with any regrets.
Right.
So everything I actually wanted, I spoke it out to other people. And even though other people were telling me I was crazy and it was impossible and I was too old and it would never happen, I just had the frame of mind, well, I'm going to show you I can.
Yeah.
And I just kept speaking on it and speaking on it and speaking on it and putting it out in the universe and believing in my heart. We're all capable of having everything we want in this world.
Yeah.
We just have to believe that we deserve it.
Right.
And I believed I deserved it. Just like this podcast. You and I just were joking about it when we were on our road trip to New York.
But then at the end of the road trip, we were like, we need to do this because this is amazing.
Right.
We don't want to stop road tripping. We don't even want to turn in this car, but we don't want to get arrested for not turning it in and me get fired.
Well, right. And then we were like, gosh, I wish somebody had made a podcast telling us about all these things that we saw.
Exactly.
And all of the cheap things that we could have done before we planned the trip. So we would have known, but we ended up doing it on our own. And we were like, maybe other people want to find out how to do this.
Exactly.
And here we are.
And then it happened. I mean, it took a pandemic.
Right. It took us 2 years.
I know.
Of talking about it.
Yeah.
And planning and lifing.
Right.
Working. So manifesting is actually a real thing. You can, if you truly believe in your heart that there's something out there in this world that you just want to do and achieve, then keep on believing in it.
Right. No matter what happens, no matter what adversity you face, just have that gumption.
Right. Faith in yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have faith in yourself.
Exactly. And
make it attainable goals at first. You know? I mean, we all want to be millionaires one day, but it's not going to happen overnight. Right. So you make these small attainable goals. Make a vision board. Cut out pictures of things that you want to have one day.
Right.
I wrote myself a check for $20 million to be cashed in 5 years.
Right. Right.
And if I get halfway there, I've achieved something. You just have to believe in yourself.
Right.
And believe in your worth.
I have a Pinterest page. Does that count as a vision board?
It does. Absolutely, it does. Because if you keep looking at it and believing this is what I want, this is what I want to happen, this is what I want to have. And it's crazy because with me, everything that I tried to do that wasn't supposed to be a part of my purpose, I guess, or a part of my journey, always turned out to crap. But the things that were supposed to happen happened so easily without effort. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I had to do, and doors would just open for me. Every acting job I've ever gotten were none that I auditioned for. Nothing that I auditioned for. Everything I've auditioned for, I've never gotten. But every acting job that I've gotten has been someone just calling me and say, hey, you want to do a part I need you to be a lead in my show. I need you to do this. Or just actually taking me and throwing me in front of the camera and saying, here, talk.
Right. We're testing the mics.
Right. No, but
wait a second. What did she just say? Okay, let's stay on her for another 2 hours.
And with the Saints, I applied to every job, coaching jobs, cutting grass jobs, everything. When they called me and asked me if I was interested in the job that I do have now, I was like, oh, what job was that again? What was the job description? And when the guy told me, getting the fans hyped up and, being part of the crew that Game Day Entertainment, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I could do that. I pay every year to go to the games and hype people up. I can do it for free. And he was like, oh, no, we'll pay you. I was like, oh, no, I'll do it for free.
What?
Just let me go to the games for free. And So, yeah, and like working in the film industry, every job that I got after I graduated from college it sounds fluke, but it's just crazy the way they happen. Like where I'm at right now was not even what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I applied for one job, I'd get another job, and then that job would propel me into another job. And it just was like a snowball effect.
Right.
It's all because I believed in my heart.
Right.
Even though I was the oldest production assistant on set.
Yeah, who cares?
And everybody else was in their 18s and 20s. And here I am almost 50 years old as a production assistant. I worked my butt off and I proved myself. And so now when people hear my name or see me, they're like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, she'll work,
Yeah.
And
because you're a hard worker.
Right. I am. And I have to work 10 times as hard because I am older. So I have to prove myself worthy of being on set.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah.
But manifestation is real. So like through this pandemic and coming up with what's going to happen in the next month or so with the unemployment ending and
possibly ending. I mean, they're looking at extending, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But no matter what,
we can't worry about the end of July. We have to make it through today.
Yeah,
through today.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can make plans,
right?
Yeah, just as long as you have a plan, you will have more confidence. I think of all the bad things that could possibly happen, and then I think of, well, how bad is that really?
Right. That's what I was about to say. Are they really bad?
Yeah. Are they really bad?
Is it actually a door shutting?
Yeah.
And one opening to something better?
Right.
You see, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, if the film industry doesn't come back at the beginning of August, or if I don't have work at the beginning of August, what else can I do that might be better than what I'm hoping to do?
That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you felt that this or any of our episodes were remotely entertaining, please feel free to share with your friends and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and yes, we have even joined TikTok. Our website is www.budgetwithmarsandneeter.com. And until next time, guys, be safe, be well, and be kind to each other.